Hello, hello, and welcome to my thought for this very sunny Thursday in London. It's just like summer. And I was thinking about the things we believe and we actually follow, we actually live, even though they have no basis in truth. And one of them is this belief in the power of carrots. When I was a kid, we believed that carrots kept you from getting cavities if you ate carrots that were sweet. And if in those days when they weren't mass grown and they weren't shipped 25,000 miles from their origin, they were sweet. Carrots were sweet. Um, and then carrots were better candy than candy, and they would save your teeth. And carrots would also give you beautiful, beautiful eyesight. And we lived in a gated community. It was called 40 Brookhead Place. And one of the residents there was a dentist. His name was Dr. Klein. And we loved him. He was wonderful. And he also did our teeth. But he had two little boys, and they were the sweetest little boys, and they were just adorable. And he would never, ever give them any candy, any sweets, any ice cream, any treat. When they went to birthday parties, they were never allowed the cake, and they couldn't eat the ice cream. And they were very good about it because their father said that if they ate if they ate the sweets, they would lose their teeth. But instead, he would send them to these parties with carrots, cut up carrots. And that's what they would eat while the rest of us were eating cake and ice cream. And it turned out that those little boys had, without doubt, the worst teeth ever. The worst teeth ever. They were in false teeth by the time they were 15, and they couldn't see a fucking thing. They had glasses this thick. But that isn't the only one. My mother always believed that it was bad luck. If you put something on inside out or backwards, it was bad luck to remove it. And we would come home and she would be wearing the most outlandish stuff because once she put it on, she thought it was bad luck um, to um, to change her clothes. But my funniest story to me is that we thought the power of whiskey. Whiskey was supposed to cure everything. Whiskey was supposed to, if you had a cold, you had a shot of whiskey. And of course, what happened when you gave a kid a shot of whiskey, they were so drunk they didn't know whether they were sick or well. But my cousin Ricky and my cousins Ricky, Penny, and Jessica carried this to an extreme. They had a canary named Tweety, and Tweety, they had all kinds of wildlife in their house. They had salamanders and they had goldfish, but they had this canary, Tweety. And when he molted, lost his feathers, he would get very tired. He would get really very, very tired. So they tried to pep him up by giving him whiskey. And every time he came into the house, the bird was always totally drunk. He'd slam against the cage. And one day, Tweety got so drunk that he knocked himself out. He hit himself against the cage and he knocked himself out. And when Ricky came downstairs for breakfast, he saw the canary lying flat out in his cage. And in an attempt to revive him, he put him in the oven and turned the oven on, and that killed him. And my aunt always said that was when we first knew that Ricky was going to be a doctor, and he is a doctor to this day. And I strongly recommend if you see somebody with the last name Meza, just be careful because he's liable to put you in the oven to cure him. And thank you very much for joining me for my thoughts today on Thursday.